Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to Everything Football. How are you guys? And welcome to the Match Day 4 deadline stream. Yes, that is my team on screen. 0 players. I don't have any 0 players. It's a calamity in the Champions League fantasy world. Injuries left, right, and center. Suspensions left, right, and center. No players to pick to choose from. The best players probably will get rested. Haaland and all these players. It's a calamity. So my plan was always to play my wildcard in match day 3 to take me all the way to match day 5 and then play my limitless chip in match day 6. But in every single video, whenever I say that, I always say unless. Now we've come to that situation unless. That unless has happened. No one expected all those players to get injured, and it's actually freak injuries. Like Musiala has gotten COVID, Alphonso Davies has gotten a head injury, a skull injury. Players will probably get rested because Man City are playing Liverpool this weekend. Real Madrid have just come from playing Barcelona. Like it's a disaster basically. So meaning I had like 6-7 players who were not going to play literally immediately after playing my wildcard in match day 3, which meant it was either I was going to go ahead and play with 10 players or take a -4 and -8. And I'm not a fan of -4 and -8. I've played FPL for like 7 years. I've only ever taken like 3 hits. I've played Champions League fantasy since 2016 and I've only ever taken like 1 hit. It's not something I usually like to do because the Champions League season is very, very short. So taking the hit wouldn't really help you. You can take the hit for a certain player, and then by next time, obviously, the player is already injured or plays out already, or the team has already gone through, is rested. So I don't think it's worth it taking a hit. So in this one, I've decided to play my Limitless. Yes, my Limitless chip is active, as you can see scrolling down the bottom. And to avoid copying and people going for the same team and to make it boring, to make it more interesting and not boring, I am going to pick one player every single 10 minutes. I already have the idea. I already have the players written down, the players I am going for. So I'll be revealing a player every single 10 minutes as I answer your questions as well. I'm heading into the Man City team news and also the deadline. So one player every single 10 minutes. I'll be telling you which players I've decided to pick. But yes, my Limitless chip is active despite me wanting to play it in match day 6. There is nothing we could have done. It's been a disaster. So many players have gotten injured this week and players have been suspended. So there's nothing much we can do. But how are you guys? How are you doing? Let me know how you guys are doing. So yes, after every 10 minutes, I will be revealing a player starting from the next 4 minutes because we have been going for 6 minutes. So let's see. Relaxing Central. How are you, man? How are you doing? Samit says for sure. Samit, don't think I've forgotten. You said Musiala would get more points last time. Don't think I forgot. It's 2-1 now. It's 2-1 now. What's your bet for today? Who do you take? Cayman says, who do you take out? Musiala, Alfonso, Carvalho. You just want to take one out? Probably Musiala because he's a midfielder. You can get better midfielders. I'd rather go without a defender than going without a midfield. I think midfield is very, very important. So getting a midfield, there's so many good midfielders. Napoli midfielders, for example, I think you can get a lot of returns from that. So if it's just one, probably take out Musiala. Now, the thing is, I think Musiala will be back next game because there's no Champions League game next week. So it's 2 weeks from now. And both of those players could be back by the time we play. So there's no problem with at least leaving one of them on the bench. Not possible to check the team Relaxing Central because I'm logged out. That 15-year league. Just tell me your team. You have to tell me your team because I'm logged out. Marcus says, wow, what a crazy week. I was looking forward to this stream all day. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it. Well, I was not looking forward to it because I've been stressed since yesterday. You know, everyone loves playing the wild card, the limitless chip, the free hit on FPL and all that. But whenever you play it, like you have so many options to choose from, it just stresses you more and more. You're like, will I choose this guy? But I also want this guy from Barcelona. But Barcelona playing Inter Milan. Should I wait for the Man City team news? It's crazy. Good evening, Summit. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Arnold, as well. Bad luck on the injuries. I'm playing my wildcard myself this week. Great. Which players have you gone for? Javob says, I have a Dan, Musiala, and Davis, and my second goalie is Maya. My second goalie is Maya. So, is it Maya? So, Adan, Musiala, Davis. So, Maya might not play. From what I've heard from Dortmund fans, especially from that Bayern Munich game, he's been making a couple of mistakes from the Man City game. So could he be dropped very, very soon for their first choice goalkeeper? That could happen. So you have a risk there. You could actually go without a goalkeeper, Javon. So if I had those two goalkeepers, I'd probably take out Adan just to be safe so that I don't go without a goalkeeper. That's what I would do. There's a very, very high risk with players like Meyer. Imad says, good luck, Glenn. Thanks for your hard work. I appreciate it. Good Summit. Best replacement for Alfonso Davis, 5.5 million, says Bilal. It depends if you want a direct replacement from a Bayern player. I think they're going to start with Pavard, Upamecano, Mazraoui, and maybe Delete. That is the defense. So I probably would go for Upamecano if you're looking for a defender from Bayern Munich. But if you want totally different, you can go for players like Kostic at Juventus. What do you think about Reece James as a Davis replacement? I don't mind him at all. Now, I think AC Milan will score against Chelsea. Chelsea have been terrible away from home. They conceded 3 against Leeds. They conceded, they obviously lost away to Dinamo Zagreb of all teams. So they're not great away from home this season. I don't think they've won a game away from home this season. Maybe one. Is it against Everton? Everton, they beat Everton in Crystal Palace, but both of those games that they won, very, very tight. They shouldn't have won against Crystal Palace. They should have had a red card in that game, for example. Against Everton, it was a penalty 1-0. So the other away games, Southampton, they lost. Leeds, they lost. Dinamo Zagreb, they lost. They're not looking good at away from home. Not bad, though. Considering he's playing on the Tuesday, which is today, I don't think is a bad option. Now, the other thing is, will the coach go with the back 5 or a back 4? If he goes with the back 5, no problem at all. Reece James becomes a very, very good option. But if he goes with the back 4, Reece James doesn't really attack that much. And he's up against Liao on that side. I think that is also a yellow card for him. But he was rested over the weekend, so I think he's still a good option. I am doing good. RK, how are you? Antonio says Juggler or Osage. Now, Atletico Madrid surely will start winning somewhere. There's obviously a chance that Club Brugge will score in that game. So since he's very cheap and you've already seen a lot from him this season, I just said Juggler, and a lot of people will have him as well. So if he scores, you kind of drop in rank. Would you go for Reece James for Alfonso Davis says Cayman? I would consider it not a bad option if that is where you want to go. Great. But I would only go that direction if you already have a Man City defender, you already have a Bayern Munich defender. That is why I can go to that direction. Because it's basically 100%, I think AC Milan will score. I know Juventus have not been great, but AC Milan, like, it was so easy for them the other day against Juventus. So I think AC Milan cannot not score against any team at home. They did lose to Napoli a couple of weeks ago, but I think they'll score. Thank you, Javo. I appreciate it a lot. Nesh says, what's your predicted attacking startup for Bayern? Attacking. So attacking, I think Mane, Sane, Muller. So those are the 3 I think will start. And then behind them, the likes of Kimmich behind them. And I think the other 2, it could be anyone. It could be Goretzka or any of those guys. But front 3, probably Mane, Sane, and Muller. I've heard that Gnabry has not been playing well. I've heard that he could miss out. Now, the problem with Sane, I am 100% sure he'll only play like 45 minutes in that game. That is the problem. There is no chance he doesn't play. He plays like 70 minutes or 80 minutes. He might not even start. That's the problem. Will we get City team news? Yep, we will get it in maybe 20 minutes or something, 25 minutes. No problem, Summit. Great energy today. I appreciate it. So, I mean, we beat Liverpool the other day, so my energy has kind of carried forward to today. Gnabry or Mane? Says Antonio would go for Mane. Power says your thoughts on Lewandowski, Di Maria, and Vlahovic. Lewandowski is Lewandowski. Lewandowski will always score against any single team. I think he will score against Inter Milan. I think they're not going to lose that game. So maybe 2-1 or 2-2 or something like that. So I think he will score a goal there. They haven't looked good at all the last couple of games, though, against Mallorca and against Celta Vigo. They've only scored 1 goal apiece in those 2 games. So there's always that risk. But Inter Milan away from home, Inter Milan have not been doing well in their league this season. So they're nowhere near competing for the league at the moment. The likes of Napoli and Atalanta are running away with it. So I think Lewandowski will score. In terms of Di Maria is a great option. Di Maria didn't play over the weekend. He was suspended, so he's fresh. Vlahovic, now I don't think it's going to be an easy win for Juventus, but I don't think it's going to be a 0-0. I think it could be like a 2-2 or a 3-2. So that basically means Vlahovic and Di Maria return. So 10 minutes have gone. So I'm going to pick my first player before I come to the rest of the questions. And my first player in my Limitless chip is that guy, Leroy Sané. Now, I've decided to go for him, even though there's a risk of him not playing, because there's already a lot of people who have him. So even if he plays 45 minutes and scores 2 goals and I don't have him, it's going to be a nightmare. So I have gone for him because most of the players are injured. I think he will get at least 45 to 50 minutes. So I'm happy to have Sané in my Limitless team for now. So Leroy Sané is my first pick. I have gone for him. No problem with that. So I think he could actually score. I think he will score. If he starts, he will score. And even if he comes on for like 30 minutes, he will score. So I've gone for Leroy Sané as my first option there. Next pick in the next 10 minutes. Let's see. Zielinski or Bellingham, says ALK. Bellingham is what a player, man. This guy is captaining his team at this young age. Zielinski, the problem with players like Zielinski is that they could be subbed off early. Like the other day, was subbed off in the 45th minute. But I think they could do that damage. Napoli are very, very good. Now, Osimhen is back. So, like, their striker could be rested and Osimhen could be back. So, for that one, Bellingham is one who's guaranteed to start because they're trying to finish top of the table. And the only way they can get past Man City is if they win all these games and try and beat Man City next time. Because if you finish second in your group, you're going to either face Man City or Bayern Munich or PSG or these teams. No one wants to face those teams right now. So the likes of Dortmund want to finish top. So I would go for Bellingham, as long as, though, you have another Napoli player, because I think even today is going to be another 5 goals. I'm thinking, or 6 goals, 4-2 or 3-2 or something like that. Napoli Ajax. So it's going to be another high-scoring game. Antonio says Kostic, good option. Yep, I think so. Although I think Maccabi Haifa will score. So you're really depending on recovery points and attacking returns. I mean, he scored the other day, Kostic, and he assisted as well. So he can definitely get you attacking returns. But in terms of keeping a clean sheet, I don't really think so. I don't think so because Maccabi Haifa, I think they allowed Maccabi Haifa something like 20 shots last week at Juventus. And when they played PSG at home, Maccabi Haifa, they also scored, and they could have scored 2 or 3 goals that day. So they do attack at home. They don't just sit back. Arnold says wildcard Lunin and Lloris. Cancelo if it starts. Guerrero, Di Lorenzo, James, and Hakimi. Sane, Kvaradona, Kudus, Bellingham, Modric, Haaland if he starts. Mbappe, Raspadori. Thoughts? Raspadori if he starts as well. Arnold, I mean, Osimhen is back, so I don't know how quickly he will bring back Osimhen to the team. So there's a chance Raspadori will play, but I'm thinking 60 minutes at most. But I would definitely stick with him. No problem with Raspadori being there. So in terms of this, in terms of the goalkeeper, Courtois will probably be back next game. So if you've already played your Limitless chip, I'd try not to go for Lunin. I'd try to go for another goalkeeper, the one who's going to take me all the way to matchday 6 alongside Lloris. Because the moment Courtois is back and Lloris gets like a red card in this match day, then the next match day you've already played your wild card. All of a sudden you'll start struggling for another goalkeeper again. I don't want anyone to find themselves in that situation again where they need to pick a goalkeeper again. No, this is the only time that we are hoping that happens. So I'll probably go for another option. Maybe if you have 0.5, I'd try to go to 4.5 goalkeeper. But at 4 million, I think you can get someone like McGregor, the Rangers goalkeeper, if he doesn't play on the same day with Lloris. But if you feel like you're happy with Lunin for this one match day, you can stick with him. Okay, with the super chat, I really appreciate it. She says, keep up the good work. We appreciate. Thank you very much. Samit says, Arsenal fan or Man City. You never walk alone, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean. So, yeah, the team that beat you the other day, that's the team, Summit. Meya, Hakimi, Gomez, Reynaldo, Varshelia, Angiza, Mane, Bellingham, Haaland, Mbappe, Neymar. It's good. PSG. I did go for 2 PSG players in the wildcard or limitless video that I did, and I watched PSG obviously this weekend. They didn't score a goal, and that is because Messi is not there. Basically, creation. Benfica good defensively, so I don't think they're going to run with it. But I think PSG will win. I'll still put my I'll still put my foot forward and say PSG will win that game at least 2-1 or something. But I wouldn't double up on them. Especially if this is a wildcard or limitless chip, this is definitely not a limitless chip. If it is a wildcard, I'd probably not go for both Neymar and Mbappe. No, I wouldn't go for both of them. So if it's a wildcard, if you don't have any wildcard at limitless, then obviously you can sort out the other positions. But there's no problem with this team. But I wouldn't go for both Mbappe and Neymar this time around. The others, we have to wait for the team news. I have a feeling Haaland doesn't start, and even if he starts, maybe 45 minutes again. Javob says, what do you think about the Portugal keeper? I think that is what he mean. He did save a penalty last time. I did talk about him in match day 2, that I would go for him in match day 3 and 4, but I eventually didn't. Leverkusen, I think Leverkusen will score. They were very lucky not to keep a clean sheet in that game against Leverkusen. So going to Leverkusen, I think Leverkusen will score. I think it's a bit too expensive. I think it's like 5 million or 5.5. That's a bit too expensive. I think you can get better options. So against Leverkusen, it's a good group, but I think against Leverkusen, they'll concede. So I try to look elsewhere. Antonio says Mbappe or Neymar, Lewandowski. If it's between those three, I'd probably go for Neymar because he takes the penalties. I think he's the first choice penalty take. I hate PSG because of that. Like the game could just start and Mbappe takes the penalty, and then the next game we think Mbappe is taking, Neymar takes it. It just depends on how they're feeling. But I would go for Neymar because it's cheaper as well. So Lewandowski will score. Now the thing is, I think Lewandowski will score 1 goal. But Neymar has a chance of getting a goal in an assist, so you have to look for the one who's going to get you more returns. Cayman says best Napoli midfielder for Shelia, and then maybe followed by Anguissa. Mane says Vinicius or Mane. Vinicius could be rested anytime because they've had a very tough schedule, and from what Ancelotti said, most of these players have played so many games. Someone like a Vinicius even went to Brazil and played during the international break. So I'd go for Mane. What's up, Ripadu? I was just talking about you, Benfica. Isn't picking Vinicius risky? Yep, says Power. El Clasico might be rested. Yep, they do have. They play El Clasico this weekend. Exactly. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Man City this weekend. Too much of a risk, man. Too much of a risk. And I think they're in a position where even if they draw today with Shakhtar, they still have the better chance of beating Leipzig and Celtic next time and still go through. So, yeah. Anel says, I'm expecting Madrid to secure first place this week, so Courtois might be rested. Courtois didn't even travel, so he's definitely not going to play. Might be rested for the rest of the group stages. That's why I'm keeping Lunin. Interesting. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. You're hoping they do get through by today so that Lunin is given the rest of the games. There's that chance, but I think someone like a Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti, even if they've gone through, the likes of Ederson and Courtois will play. Maybe match day 6 he won't play, but I'd not be surprised if match day 5 Courtois comes back and then maybe match day 6 Lunin plays again. But I see your idea, Nel. Want to upgrade Valverde? I have 8 million. I was thinking Rodrigo, Bellingham, or Coleman. I would go for Bellingham from those 3. Again, Rodrigo, he might start. He might play a few minutes, get subbed off. And I don't think Shakhtar away will be easy for them. I think they'll win by 1 goal or something, maybe 2-1 or something. So I see why you want Rodrigo, but I'd go for Bellingham because I think they'll score like 3 against Sevilla. I can't check the league summit because I'm logged out. Ripadu says Mignolet, Otamendi, Cancelo, Di Lorenzo, Sane, Vini, Valverde. You have too many risks there, Ripadu. So many players there who can be rested. Haaland could be rested. Valverde could be rested. Vinicius could be rested. Cancelo could be rested. Otamendi, very tough fixture with PSG. He could keep a clean sheet. He's very good at recovery points. Sane, you're looking at 50 minutes there at most. But the only very great secure options this week from that lineup is Bellingham, probably with Di Lorenzo, Mignolet, and Otamendi. All the others probably get subbed off early. Even Raspadori. Osimhen is back. Raspadori doesn't play 90 minutes, so it's very, very troublesome. Is this your actual team, or is it a wildcard team, or is it a limitless team? If it's your actual team, then if you still hopefully still have the 2 subs, let me know. Liad says, what subs do you suggest if my defenders are Guerrero, Kostic, Mario Rui, Cancelo, and Davis, and my midfielders are Valverde, Kudus, Sane, Diaz, and Musiala? So which subs do I suggest? So probably Musiala out and Diaz out, the expensive one. So Diaz out, definitely get in a Napoli midfielder. You can go for anyone because Diaz is 9 million, so you can literally afford any of the midfielders from Napoli, Anguissa, Zielinski. You could go for Kvaratskhelia, whoever you prefer. And then I'd also take out Musiala and probably bring on Kimmich. So that's what I would do. So I'd still want at least 2 or 3 Bayern Munich players. That is Liad's question. I'll come to the rest of the questions. Next up, let me pick my second player on my limitless chip. So I've gone for Sane in midfield, and up front, Ancelotti already told us what is going to happen. So I think that is very, very easy. We know Vinicius might not start. We know Valverde might not start. Modric, you don't know if he's going to start, but we know a certain player will start. The captain will start, and he will be on penalties. He's not been great this season so far because he's had a couple of injuries, but I am going to go for him. You know who I'm talking about. The superstar from last season. If he was not getting injured, he probably would have won the Ballon d'Or. His name is Karim Benzema. That is my next pick. That is my next pick on my limitless because he's guaranteed starts. He confirmed yesterday, Ancelotti, basically. He said Benzema, Cruz, and Mendy will definitely start tomorrow. So I like hearing stuff like that from the managers. If Pep Guardiola is telling us that every single week, I'd be very, very happy. If you just tell us Mahrez will start, Haaland will start, Alvarez will start, I'll be very, very happy. So Benzema is my first striker I have gone for against Shakhtar. Hopefully he does return this time around. He kind of killed me in match day 1 because I went for him instead of Lewandowski, and it killed me because Lewandowski scored a hat-trick. Yusuf says, again, next pick in the next 10 minutes. Yusuf says Kvaratskhelia or Zielinski. I'd probably say Kvaratskhelia. Very cheap, and he's been very, very good this season. Samit says Mbappe or Vlahovic. That is an interesting one. I have a feeling Vlahovic will do better this week, so I'd go for Vlahovic. Would you pick Ederson or Neuer? Well, Neuer, there's a chance he won't play because I'm hearing he's an injury doubt, so I would not go there. Anyone who has an injury doubt, especially if you're playing a limitless or wildcard, just get rid of them because you don't want to play wildcard again and then the player doesn't play. So Ederson will definitely start. Neuer, there's a 60% chance he doesn't start. So he's an injury doubt. I don't even think he's traveled, so I wouldn't go there. So let's see. Sami Ripadi says none. Thoughts on Kunku on my wildcard, says Marcus. Depends on how the rest of your midfield looks. I would not go for example, for Nkunku without any Napoli midfielders. But if I already have Napoli, I already have Man City players, maybe the ones who are starting up front defenders, then I would go for Nkunku. He has an away game at Celtic. I think it's going to be like a 2-2, so a good chance for him to score there. But if you already played your limitless chip Marcus, you're looking at this wildcard to take you all the way to match day 6. So I think they will be fighting to go through, at least finish that in that group. Unless if you already have players like the Napoli players, then Kunku is not bad on a wildcard. You can go for him because players like Diaz on the same price are out. So yeah. So Ripadu says he didn't travel. So yeah, he's injured. Neuer is injured as well. I told you, Javob. I told you it is a disaster this week. Like every time I check online, every time I wake up, Musiala is out. I check again after 1 hour, Diaz is out for 4 months. I check again, Neuer might not play. I check again, Haaland might not start. I check again, Cancelo is a doubt. It's a disaster this week, like so many players. Now, from what's the word? From a selfish point of view, I'd want someone like a Haaland not to start, because if the people who had already played their limitless chip and their wildcard chip, and they had Musiala and Sane and Davis and Haaland, the moment Haaland gets rested and Cancelo, is going to be a major disaster. A lot of teams will suffer. So the ones who have the limitless chip and the wildcard will really benefit this week. Boris says, I've still got 2 or more places left for 22 million. 2 forward places. Or let's see, forward Haaland, midfielder Bellingham, Anguissa, Sonic, Varshele, defense, Shele, Gomez, Cancelo, goalkeeper Mignolet, Lunin. So these are the players we currently have. So I've still got 2 or more places left for 22 million. So you're looking for a striker, I'm guessing, and you're also looking for a midfielder. I can see you already have Dortmund, Napoli, you already have Sane. Sane will not play the entire game. I'd really be tempted to bring in Kimmich because I'm sure he's going to play like 70 minutes. He's going to get an assist. He takes corners, he takes free kicks sometimes. I'd not mind getting Kimmich because I can only see you have one Bayern Munich player against Victoria Pilsen, another game that is going to be 4-0 or something like that. So I'd probably think about Kimmich. And then forward line, Haaland. Who are you thinking of? Because Vlahovic is not bad. I think Milik will play for Juventus. All those guys, I don't think they're bad with wildcards. So yeah, I'd probably go for Kimmich in midfield. And then striker basically can go for anyone. As I said, I have Benzema in mind. Maybe don't like Benzema. Lewandowski, if you prefer him against Inter Milan, you could go for him. Barcelona will play Victoria Pilsen someday as well very soon. He could get another hat-trick. So Benzema, Lewandowski, or Neymar, whoever you prefer. Personally, up front, I don't think any of them is bad. Going forward, and then defense, midfield-wise, Kimmich. With wildcard. Any more injury news or people to be benched, says Teza. What do we know? We're still waiting to hear. But yeah, that's the latest. Neuer is not playing. In case you hadn't heard about it. But yeah, Man City, we are waiting for the team news. Mohammed says, I have Matip. Yeah, that is another one. Matip is also injured. Davis, Diaz, and Musiala are injured. And even if you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's also injured. I'm not done talking about the injuries. It's so many people who are injured. And I have 2 substitutions. So good, Mohammed. Good job keeping the 2 transfers. And that's why I always say don't make your transfers early despite the price rises, because of situations like this. If you'd already taken out, let's say, Valverde and Mbappe, and then this situation occurs and you don't have a chip, it's a disaster. It can basically ruin your whole season. I have Matip, Davis, Diaz, Musiala, 2 substitutions. What do you do? I'd take out the midfielders, Diaz and Musiala, and potentially bring, if you have your wildcard or Limitless, I'd probably play it. If you don't have, Diaz out, Musiala out, Napoli midfielders not bad, Kimmich not bad as well. Samit says current team, Adan and Maya. Definitely have a problem with that goalkeeping situation. Both of them might not play. Adan is not playing. Maya might not play. Cancelo, Upamecano. Imagine playing without a goalkeeper, Summit. Can you imagine a team going into the pitch without a goalkeeper? That's a disaster, right? Upamecano, Danilo, Tsimikas, Gomez. Upamecano, I like that pick. I think he's definitely going to start. Danilo, no problem. Musiala, Gonçalves, someone help me. Which one is it? Kvardona, Valverde, Luis Diaz. Oh my goodness. Injuries. Haaland, Lewandowski, Vlahovic. So many injured and rested. Limitless or -8. No, I wouldn't go for -8. As I said, if you have your chip, this is a very, very good chance to cover the players, the managers who had already played their Limitless chip and wildcard and gotten 120 points. This is your chance now to take advantage of that, because many people will struggle, especially if the Man City team news comes out and a certain player is not playing. Is going to be terrible. Who's the best midfielder from night 2 under 7.5? Second night, Trincao, Asensio, or Kamada? Oh, definitely not Asensio. I know he might start, but will he play 90 minutes? I don't think so. Second day, but if you're looking for, I'd probably go for Trincao because he's at home. I don't mind Trincao. Time to pick my 3rd player on my Limitless chip. Time to pick my 3rd player. Who will I go for as my 3rd player? I have decided who my 3rd player is. Dortmund up against Sevilla. Not a bad fixture at all. This guy is almost like a striker, even if they do concede. I have stuck with him on a Limitless chip. His name is Rafael Guerreiro. That is my first defender pick. Rafael Guerreiro is sticking in my team against Sevilla. Not bad at all. Attacking ability, defensive ability, recovery points, and could occur as well. Recovery. So that is my first pick in terms of defense. So Benzema, Sane, Guerreiro is what we have so far. Next pick in the next 10 minutes. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure to do so. It definitely helps the channel. And also, I've put a poll in the chat asking how your team is looking. So make sure to vote on that one as well. Let's go. Let's see. No answer that one. Will Lunin play? Yes, Danish. He will play. Courtois is out. Summit says Juventus, Maccabi Haifa lineups are out. Thank you. I have Guerrero. Should I transfer him out? Well, Tron, I've just answered your question. I've put Guerrero in my team if that helps. That is my first pick in terms of defense. So if that helps, you can definitely stick with him. I wouldn't transfer him out, not at all. No Kostic, says Danish. Wow. Yeah, like if I didn't play my Limitless, that would have been another player not to miss out. So I would have had like 10 players missing out. Thank you for that. Danish and Summit. Juventus lineup, Szczesny in goal. A back five of Danilo, Bonucci, Rugani, Sandro, Cuadrado, Paredes, McKennie, Rabiot, Di Maria, Vlahovic. This is a back five, right? So I'm guessing Paredes, Rabiot played really well last time out. I don't know if it's an option. McKennie, Di Maria, Vlahovic. Maccabi Haifa, is there anyone who has Maccabi Haifa players? I've thought about it, by the way, because I think Maccabi Haifa will score in that game. I've tried to look at their players, but I was like, nah, Glenn, you're too crazy. There's no way you can go for Maccabi Haifa player, not go for Bayern Munich player. Yeah, that comes from overthinking. Vic says, I have Musiala, Diaz, Davis, Adan, Matip. Oh my goodness. Vic, yes. Player Limitless. That is too much. Musiala, Diaz, Davis, Adan, Matip. Those are too many injuries and too many risks. And if you have the likes of Cancelo and Haaland as well, I would play my Limitless Vic. Haaland not starting, says Marcus. No way. I'd be so happy if that happens. Someone asked me yesterday, Foden, De Bruyne, Cancelo, and Haaland, who will all of them start, and I told him at least two of them wouldn't start. We have the Man City team news. Thank you, Marcus. Ederson is in goal. They have a back four of Cancelo. He starts. Akanji. Cancelo starts, but will he get to 60 minutes? There's always that as well. That is the problem. Akanji, Laporte, and Gomez. Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Gundogan in midfield. Mahrez, Alvarez, and Grealish up front. Haaland is on the bench. Yeah, if you had already played your chips in match day 2 and 3 and all these players are injured and Haaland is not starting, this is pretty much a disaster for you. If you're thinking about a Limitless and wildcard, just do it. There's too many players who are not going to play. RK says, please subscribe and smash the like button. That will also be appreciated. They have Haaland on the bench and Foden as well, and Diaz as well. Now, from this Man City team news, let me just type it in. Man City team news. So for Man City, they have Ederson in goal. So Ederson, if you're playing a Limitless chip, I don't think Ederson is bad because he's the only one who's guaranteed to play 90 minutes. I just have a feeling, especially if they go 2 goals up, that is Cancelo subbed. So you might miss out on the clean sheet. And this is the best day to get an advantage. Especially if you play your wildcard or Limitless, you want to take full advantage because people played the Limitless in match day 2 and they had Salah and Son and all those guys scored a lot of points. So you have to take advantage as well. Laporte starts. Akanji starts. Gomez starts. Gomez is a very good option if you're on a wildcard. Rodrigo starts. Yeah, this has been a disaster match day 4. Not expected at all. Not expected at all. Gundogan. I think Gundogan is a good option as well if you're on a wildcard. Mahrez, Alvarez. Mahrez is on penalties. And Grealish. That is the Man City team news. We'll scroll after that. So, wow, this is interesting. Does this change your opinions on a couple of things? Haaland not starting. Haaland to Alvarez and Alvarez captaincy is annulled. You could do that, but on a Limitless though, you want the big boys. No, you don't have to. I don't think it's a bad idea to go for players like Varshel on a Limitless chip because then they'll still score. Mahrez is a good option on Limitless. Yes, Power. Mahrez is a good option. He always gets subbed off though, but they could do the damage in the first half. Sharma says, I am hoping Haaland doesn't come on and then score a hat trick. You know, that guy is crazy. But they do have Liverpool this weekend. I would be devastated if I didn't go for Haaland and then he came on and scored a hat trick. I'd just be like, what the hell? Jagla, Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius, Florentino, Kvaratskhelia, Mendes injured, Meja, James, Cancelo, Con, Perrin, Tavares, Bergwijn, Sane. Do I need to do anything like wildcard? Oh, so you've not wildcarded or anything like that. So have you made your 2 transfers? Because Haaland is not playing, and who else is not playing? Vinicius might be rested. So those are 2 players. You're already 2 players down. So have you played have you made your transfers? If you haven't made your transfers, I still wouldn't go for a wildcard. I think that's enough to take you to the next round. If you have like at least 13 players, I'd be happy to keep that. We Limitless guys are going to go ahead of those who don't have any chips left. Really hope so, because I've been saying I'm not even looking at my rank because I'm like 90k, because I know when you play a Limitless, by this match day, I am hoping that I climb like 70, 80,000 places just because of what the situation is right now. Haaland to Alvarez and Alvarez captain. I don't like that question for rank, especially if it's match day 2 and then after match day 2 you haven't played the Limitless and another person has played the Limitless. They could be like 50 points ahead of you. They could be fast in the world, and you could be like 300,000, but you still have a big advantage as well because you still have your Limitless to play. So I don't really like that question a lot in terms of ranking. I am around 90k there though. Haaland not starting, says Antonio. Yeah. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm happy with that. Nesh says Gundogan or Grealish. That's a good question, Nesh. I think if you're playing your wildcard, I think Gundogan starts again next time, but I don't think Grealish starts again next time. The thing is, if you're playing, you're just making transfers, I would go for Gundogan. I think Grealish will be subbed. I don't think Gundogan will be subbed. So maybe better to switch Cancelo to Ederson, says Boris. The thing with Cancelo, yeah, there's always that option. The thing with Cancelo, though, is a massive attacking threat. Like in that first half, if he plays 50 minutes alone or even 45 minutes, he can get an assist and 9 recovery points and get to 7 points just for 45 minutes. So I would keep Cancelo, but I'd be very tempted to double up on their defense just not to miss out on the clean sheet. But if it's that, I'd keep Cancelo and hope that he plays 60 minutes. I wouldn't transfer out Cancelo. Draco says PSG and Real Madrid team is nope, we don't get that one because they're not playing right now. But if you want the injury news, Courtois will not play, he's not traveled. Vinicius could be rested. Benzema will definitely start. Messi is out, he's injured. Mendes is out, he's injured. Who would you captain, Mbappe or De Bruyne? I'd captain De Bruyne against, because it's the first day. Even if he gets subbed off and doesn't return, I'd go for another player on the second day. Now that takes me to my my fourth option. Now that you've seen the team news and everything, who will be my next option to be in my team? On my Limitless chip, we have to travel to Man City. Let's go to Manchester. So this player was already in my team anyway, before I even saw the City team news, and his name is, where is he? Midfielder. Riyad Mahrez. He was already in my team before I saw the team news, so he's definitely going to stick there because he is on penalties, and I think he definitely has a good chance of returning. So Mahrez is there. That is my fourth pick. Next pick once again after the next 10 minutes. Let's keep going with your questions. So many, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Mohammed says Angizov, Kvaratskhelia. Gyro says, bro, so who should I captain for the first day? De Bruyne, Mahrez. If you run out of players, Mbappe is not bad from PSG. Now, the thing is with a day like this, the first day, you could literally captain anyone because especially if Haaland is not playing like right now, you could captain anyone because there's no problem. You can just change it tomorrow if it doesn't work out. Usually captain someone like Haaland because everyone else will captain him. So if you don't captain him and he returns, then you're in trouble. But since he's not playing, I think you're free to choose anyone else. Mahrez, De Bruyne. You could even go for a City defender if you prefer, but Not Cancelo. I have a feeling that he'll get subbed off. So I would still go for him in the team, but not as a captain. Adeline says Musiala is not starting. Musiala has COVID, Adeline. I'm on a wildcard, not limitless, Glenn. That's why I'm going with Alvarez. I understand that. Can easily switch to Haaland next game. Go for it. If you're on a wildcard, I think it's a cheaper option. Marcus says on wildcard, best 2 goalkeepers on a wildcard. Oh wow, interesting. So I think Lloris is not bad on the second day. I think he has good fixtures now. I think 2 of them will be at home. So Lloris is not bad. And then from today, let's just check today's fixtures. Because you're looking for a cheaper goalkeeper. Milan, Shakhtar. I wouldn't go for loaning because Courtois, I have a feeling Courtois could be back next time. On the Wednesday as well, I've looked at the Napoli goalkeeper. I think Ajax will attack and he has a chance of making a lot of saves. So Salzburg goalkeeper, Con. That is the option I'd go for from the Tuesday games. Since Haaland isn't starting, should I captain Cancelo or Vinicius, says Lucy. I don't like these 2 options as well because I doubt any of them plays more than 60 minutes, but I'd still go for the attacking option, Vinicius, hoping it gets you at least 55 minutes and he scores a goal because it would hurt you more if Cancelo started and then gets subbed off in the 55th minute. Vinicius can play those 50 minutes and still get a goal, and that would be enough. So you don't have any other options, Lucy? Do you have any other players playing today? I'd probably go for a different City player, but if you don't have any other, then from those I'd pick Vinicius. Islam says Milik to Mbappe for -4. Milik to Mbappe. So you have Milik now. I wouldn't do it for -4. I wouldn't do either. I wouldn't go from Mbappe to Milik. I wouldn't go from Milik to Mbappe for -4. No. Cancelo might be subbed before 16. Vinicius might not start at all. Yeah, that's the problem. So captaining, very, very tricky. The ultimate bet is who gets the most points at the end of the campaign, right? I'm at 239. Very, very true. I mean, that is the ultimate bet. The thing is, group stage is a time where you can really get a lot of points because all the big boys are playing against smaller teams and people have different players. Some people have Vinicius, some people have Maris, some people have Sane, some people have Kimmich. So this is the best time to get an advantage because later on in the season, like quarterfinal, let's say Man City are playing against a smaller team in the quarterfinal, everyone will go for Haaland, De Bruyne, all those players, if you know what I mean. So that is usually the problem. Everyone will go for their players and teams will be a bit similar. So the chances of you closing a gap is very hard. The chances of closing a gap is right now. That is why it's the best time to play your limitless, cheap, and your wildcard in the group stage because later on, everyone will go for Haaland. Everyone will have Sane in their team. Everyone will probably have like a Lewandowski if they're playing a smaller team. That's the problem. If they go through. No problem, Draco. Danny says Captain Benzema or KDB. KDB. Nesh says Cancelo's my captain last weekend in FPL. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 clean sheet. I know the 18 points, Nesh. I absolutely enjoyed them as well. I was so close to captaining him, but I was so scared because of Haaland. So I just went for Haaland. But yeah, Cancelo is a very good player. He was my first player to pick this season in terms of the must-own players. I'm really glad he's delivering. Instinct says I should repeat it. What do you say? You know, the other game was at home. This is away. There's a chance he gets subbed off because they play Liverpool this weekend. First day, you can go for him because second day, you can change it. So I have no problem with you captaining Cancelo actually on the first day because the second day, you can change it. But if this game was being played on a Wednesday, then definitely not. Do you think you can get the same return again twice, Nesh? Should we make $100 ultimate bet? I'll happily pay you, but now I'm going to win it. I'm not a betting guy, but go ahead. Let me know what your bet is. Gabriel says if I use Limitless cheap, will my 2 transfers carry? Betting is a sin, Summit. If I use Limitless cheap, will my 2 transfers carry to next match week? If I use, no, you still have 2 transfers next match day, not 4, Gabriel. They can't do that for you. They cannot have you have 4 transfers in a match day. You cannot even have 4 transfers in a match day. You can only have 3 maximum. So even if you play a limitless, these transfers for this week disappear. So next week you still have 2. Angiza Okvasheli answered that. Vara. I have Musiala, Davis, Diaz. Oh my goodness. It's like a hospital, Penguin. Your team is like a hospital. Musiala, Davis, and Diaz. You're not the only one. I had all three of them as well. Who are the best options to transfer them out? 0 in the bank. Musiala out, Diaz out. Napoli midfielders, you could go for Kimmich if you prefer as well. If you can get to Mane, that is an option as well if you prefer that. Draco says defense, Lunin, Cancelo, Militao, Meja, or Ronaldo. Bellingham, Sane, Florentino, Valverde, Kudus, attack, Mbappe, Neymar, Neymar. I benched Haaland, Neuer, and Matip already carded. And you've already made your transfers for this week as well, Draco. That is tough. That is quite tough. So if you've already made your transfers, I would start Haaland. If you're not going to take out Haaland, put Haaland in your starting lineup. Even if he comes on and gets you 1 point, you can take him out tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Just in case he comes on and scores 1 goal or gets an assist, he is in your starting lineup. So put him in your starting lineup first of all before you go even further. If you're not making any transfers. But if you have transfers, you can transfer him out for another player. But if you have already played your transfers and Haaland is going to be in your team this week, put him in your starting lineup, even if he comes on, because you can make the subs later on, if that makes sense. Is Diaz, Kostic, Haaland to Benzema, Gomez, and De Bruyne a good choice? Says Regulator. Kostic, Diaz, Haaland. Now, all three of them are not playing, so definitely a good choice. Sergi, Gomez, Benzema, De Bruyne. Yep, definitely 100%. Don't mind that. Should I save my Limitless for match week 6 since my many teams will rest their players and go for the players who are on the mastering teams? Or is my team too weak for game week 4? That is what I was planning as well, but too many injuries, so I had to play it right now. So this is your team currently. You're thinking of Limitless. So Cancelo is starting. Florentino, PSG. I think he can get recovery points. Valverde could be rested. Kudus, no problem. Mbappe, Neymar, I benched. Neuer is not playing as well. Neuer is out injured. Matip is injured. Drake, I'm really leaning towards playing my Limitless or playing your Limitless because Matip is injured. That is 1. Neuer is injured. That is 2. Haaland is not playing. That is 3. Valverde could be rested. That is 4. Sane could be subbed off very early. That is 5. Cancelo could be subbed off very early. That is 6. So I think this is the perfect time to take the advantage. You have a very good chance of taking the advantage right now. So I would play my Limitless. But it depends on what you think. You have 1 hour to make that decision. Less than 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour exactly. Should I captain Mbappe? No problem with captaining Mbappe at all, Lucy, on the first day. Is he playing? Wait. Is he playing today? He is playing today, right? He's playing today. By the way, I'm coming back for a Man City watch along right after this. By the way, I am going to be live for the Man City Copenhagen game. So if you enjoy watch alongs and you want us to cry and celebrate people missing chances, then you can join me for that. No problem with captaining anyone on the first day. I think Mbappe will score anyway, Lucy. Ima says Haaland, Lewandowski, Jagla, Sane, KDB, Modric, Guevara, Taylor, Cancelo, James. The first time I've seen Taylor today. James, Otamendi, Tavares, Ronaldo, Grabic, Courtois. Courtois is not playing. I have no transfers remaining. Would you take a hit for a goalkeeper or play with 10 men? Grabic is not playing, right? Is Grabic playing? Let me just... I don't think he is he? I think he... Let's just see Grabic. He's definitely not playing. Obviously, did he play? Which game did he play? I'm pretty sure they'll play all black, especially the situation they are in. Oh, so you don't have a goalkeeper. That is pretty interesting. Taking a -4 for a goalkeeper, though, that is a very interesting question, Imas. I'm not sure about taking a hit for a goalkeeper. Have no transfers remaining. Would you take a hit? Do you have any chips remaining? If you don't have a wild card, or how many players will you have missing? Courtois is out. The Grabic is not going to play. Sane could be subbed off. I mean, the rest of your team is not bad. Haaland is out as well. You don't have any other chips, Imas. Do you have any chips? If you have any chip, I would play it. If you're thinking about a goalkeeper for -4, I wouldn't do it, because there's a chance the goalkeeper could come on and give you 1 point. You're really depending on your goalkeeper to get you at least 6 points, a clean sheet guaranteed. So I think that's a bit of a push. Now, the only goalkeeper who's kind of guaranteed, maybe Ederson, and I think Copenhagen have a good chance of scoring. So depends on you. I wouldn't do it. But if you're looking for a goalkeeper who can guarantee you a clean sheet, maybe Ederson for today, if you're going for -4. It could work. If you go for Ederson and they keep a clean sheet, no problem. You've gained 2 points there. No problem at all. But if you're happy to risk it, if you want to go for him and Copenhagen scored 2 goals today and you wouldn't feel bad about it, you can do it. Is Nkunku a good option, says Nick Footy? Depends on the rest of your team, how it looks, Nick Footy. But against Celtic, I think he will score, so yes. Sharma says Haaland to Alvarez for -4. Oof, that is tough. If you don't have any other City players, yes. If you already have like a couple of City players, I wouldn't do it for -4. Alvarez, does he have a chance of scoring? Let me know. Let me ask that question again, Sharma. Let me know if you have any other City players in the team. Then I'll have my thoughts about that. Should I risk a -8? Oh my goodness, I hate hits. If you follow this page, as I said, I've played FPL for 6 years. 6 years since 2015, something like 7 years, and I've taken like 4 hits ever. I've only taken 4 hits in 7 seasons, and the Champions League I've taken 1 hit. I'm not a fan of taking hits, but in a situation like this, Ripper with injuries, Davis, Musiala, and Perry don't play, and they are all in my bench. Should I risk it and get Gvarashelia plus Mahrez? Do you already have 11 players, Ripper? If you already have 11 players or even 12 players, then I would take out Musiala for -4 and bring in someone else like a Gvarashelia, but I wouldn't go for -8. Should I get in Bergwijn? No, I'll probably go for Kudus because he plays as a striker. Although I do think that game will end like a 3-2, so I'm predicting Ajax to score 2 goals. But I think there's better options. Gabriel says, thank you, no problem. De Bruyne or Vinicius or Mane? De Bruyne from those options. So time to pick my 5th pick for my Limitless chip. Who is my 5th pick for my Limitless chip? It's time to reveal my 5th pick. I have gone for this Napoli guy. Napoli is Napoli. You have to go for Napoli players. Napoli, let's go to Napoli. Di Lorenzo is in my team as well. That is my next defensive pick. Di Lorenzo. Cayman says, would you sell Haaland? Yeah, I mean, if you still have your transfers, yes. If you're playing a wildcard, yes, I would. Yeah, give me a bet for today, Samit. Give me a bet for today. Lewandowski or Benzema? Oh, wow. Benzema, Lewandowski, Barcelona have not scored that. I mean, both of them, they've looked shaky recently. Madrid against Osasuna, Lewandowski, Barcelona against Celta Vigo, Mallorca. That is such a hard question. Is it Artur or Arta? Benzema, Lewandowski. Now we are guaranteed Benzema will start, but Lewandowski will start as well. Benzema is my choice from that. Lucy says Mbappe or Benzema. Benzema. Benfica have a very good defense, so Benzema. Cayman, would you sell Haaland for Lewandowski? If that is the option and you're not taking any hits, yes. Gyro says, should I captain Benzema? You can go for it, no problem. Should I sell Haaland now that he doesn't start? Yes, if it's on a wildcard or if you're just making transfers, you already have the transfers. If you've not played them, yes, you can sell him. It takes a lot of money. Like, you can get so many other players with that kind of money. Will Valverde play? Very, very huge chance he will be rested. They have Barcelona this weekend. That is a problem. Tron says -8 hit team at the moment. Mbappe, Lewandowski, Kane in for 4.5 million midfielder. In for 4.5 million midfielder. Sane plus Gvarashelia, Nkunku, Kudus. Wait. So confusing, Tron. Sorry. Sane plus Gvarashelia plus Nkunku plus Trincao in for Diaz plus Kudus and defense. Guerrero, Kostic, Sergio Gomez, Tsimikas in for Davis and Pavard. So you've brought in Tsimikas for Davis. Okay. You've brought in Trincao for Diaz, if that is what you mean. And you brought in Kane for 4.5 million midfielder. So it's a bit confusing. I think a bit few people will be confused with this, but I don't mind having Kane, although Tottenham don't score that many goals, especially the kind of tactics they play in the Champions League, although it's a home game and he takes the penalties. So you still have a couple of players who could be subbed off early. So Kostic is not playing. Kostic is not in the starting lineup for Juventus. He's not playing. So that is another problem there. But -8 is so much. Don't take any other. Just get 11 players in and let me know which starting lineup you're going to put out, Tron. Javod says, I have Meyer, Adan, Davis, Kostic. Oh my goodness. The first 4 players I've read are all not going to play. That is a disaster, Javod. It's not just you. Don't worry. We are all in the same boat. Cancelo, Michele, Inacio, that is Sporting, right? Musiala, Kudus, I think you meant Valverde, Vinicius, Sane, Jagler. I hope you meant Haaland, Mbappe. I'm thinking about using my Limitless. Yes. Haaland is not playing. Sane is going to be subbed off. Vinicius might not play. Vinicius and Valverde, I think one of them starts, not both. Kudus, not bad. Musiala out. Kostic out. Davis out. Adan out. Meyer, too much of a risk. Yes, played. Lucy say, I'm actually like 98% played, Jevo. El Clasico, who do you think will win? And Liverpool versus Man City, who do you think is winning? Now, Man City Liverpool have been playing poorly. They're conceding a lot of goals. And with Haaland there, I'm going to go for an actual easy win for Man City. Liverpool 1, Man City 3. And I'm going to go for Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 2. Those are my predictions for those ones. Any chance Valverde will start? There is a chance, but if he starts, get subbed off, another problem. Exotic says, I'm using my wildcard today. Should I sell Haaland and replace him with someone and next week pick him or just keep him? No. If you're playing your wildcard, take him out of your team. You will bring him back next week. You have 2 transfers next week. Against Dortmund, he will start because it's his former team. Who will be a captain for today? I might go for Benzema Mahrez. We will reveal it a bit later, Rowan. Probably a Man City player, though. Sharma says, I have Cancelo in my team. Haaland to Alvarez for -4. If Alvarez scores, you get the return right away. So, yes, you can go for it because you just need only 1 goal to get the advantage. Wait, Sharma, wait. This is so confusing because if you actually have players, I have a feeling that if Man City don't score, if that game goes to 1-0 until the 60th minute, Haaland will come on. And when Haaland comes on, he will score. So let's imagine you bring on Alvarez for -4. Alvarez doesn't score and then Haaland comes on and scores. How would you feel about that? But let's go with what situation we have right now. Just bring in Alvarez for the -4, but that is just 51% to 49%. I'm definitely not sure about that at all. You're really hoping for Man City to be 3 goals up so that Haaland doesn't come on, because there's that chance that game could be 1-0 and Haaland comes on for the last 30 minutes. Who are the best Davis replacements? Upamecano from Bayern Munich if you want a direct replacement. Kobe says, hello, mate. Would you take a -4 to do Vinicius to Bellingham? -4, I wouldn't do it because I think Vinicius will still play a part for that in that game. Let me know a very good option for midfield can go up to 9.1 million. I only have Napoli midfielders in my mind. Yeah, there's a few. Even Politano takes penalties, so it's even himself is very, very good. From Napoli, he's taken like the last 3-4 penalties. He scored all of them from the game they played against Milan and stuff. 9.1 million. You have a lot of options. You can't get to money. Who do you already have? So I only have Napoli midfielders in mind. So do you already have any Bayern Munich players? Let me just check something for you here. 9.1 million. No, let me go to Man City. I think we are thinking about a Man City midfielder there for you. De Bruyne is 10.5, definitely not. Grealish, Gundogan, Mahrez is so expensive though, 9.9 million. So I would go for Man City midfielder. Grealish and Gundogan could both do well, reproduce. So probably go for Man City midfield. It's the safest pick because we know they are starting. Mahrez or De Bruyne, says Antonio. You know what? I'd go for Mahrez because he's on penalties, and I think if they score 2-3 goals, De Bruyne is the one who's going to be subbed off earlier. So Mahrez. Di Lorenzo or Rhys James says sad. Di Lorenzo, I prefer Napoli against Ajax to Chelsea against Ajax against to Chelsea against Milan. Antonio says Mahrez or De Bruyne. I've just answered that question. But if you're in a position like me right now on a limitless chip, Antonio, you can do this. You can go for both of them. I've picked 5 players and De Bruyne is my 6th pick. Mahrez, De Bruyne, Sane is my midfield so far. Sorry, Antonio, that is a very good alley hoop. Thank you for that. That is like Steph Curry to, I don't know, Clay Thompson kind of alley hoop. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Antonio. Very, very thankful for that one. Or maybe, let's say, Dwayne Wade to LeBron James. That makes more sense. Let's see. Bilal says KDB or Neymar for today's captain. KDB. Nick 40 says good attackers below 9 million. Oh, wow. You can still go for Jagler. A lot of people will have him from Club Brugge. Sesko, a lot of people have mentioned Sesko, but I don't really like him. Alvarez, now that he's starting for Man City, if you're looking for a player under 9 million, Sesko is not bad. And then I have also thought about Olivier Giroud. I have a feeling he's scoring against Chelsea. I just have this feeling that Chelsea are going there. Giroud will score. How much is Olivier Giroud? AC Milan. Let me just see AC Milan. Giroud, Olivier Giroud, 8 million. I think is a massive differential. If you're playing your wildcard or limitless and you're feeling very brave, I don't think Giroud is a bad option at all. I'm on a limitless, suggest for me 3 forwards. On a limitless cheap, I can't suggest for you 3 forwards because basically I'll be telling you which players I'm going for. But so far I have Benzema. I don't think it's bad to go for any PSG player, Neymar, Mbappe. I don't think it's a bad idea to go for Giroud, as I said. I think he's a very massive differential. If you're on a limitless chip, he could help you. Vlahovic is a good option from Juventus as well. So I can only give you 5-6 options for you to choose from, Islam. So all those guys, Juventus forward, PSG forward, Man City forward. Myron says Di Maria for Valverde and keep Haaland or Mane. Keep Haaland or Mane. Alvarez for -4. Wait, Di Maria for Valverde and keep Haaland or Mane. Alvarez for -4. Di Maria for Valverde and keep Haaland. And I'd go for the second option. Mane, yeah, I'd go for the second option. I wouldn't like to keep Haaland especially if you're not taking a -2, a -8 or something crazy like that. I wouldn't keep Haaland in the team. You can do a lot with that money, and you can just bring him back next time. I'm sorry for being annoying. No, you're not being annoying. I actually just wrote down there. Just send any questions about your team and I'll answer them all. That is what is scrolling down the bottom. So I can't blame you, Lucia. I say that at the bottom. Should I captain Mbappe or Vinicius? You're asking me that question again. Is this a trick question? Should I captain Mbappe or Vinicius? I'd go for Mbappe because he's guaranteed starter. Vinicius, we're not sure. And Mbappe will probably play 90 minutes because he's already been rested for a couple of their league games recently. So I would go for Vinicius. And since Messi is not there, Mbappe is definitely going to play. Adeline says Mazraoui should start. No, yep, I think he will start. Go for Cuadrado and thank me later, says Ala. Juventus defender. Now I think Maccabi Haifa will score. Last time they took 20 shots against them, and they scored against PSG when they played them at home as well. So if you're going for attacking options, the thing with Cuadrado and Kostic, like last time, they both got subbed off like in the 62nd minute. Very lucky. They could have been subbed off very earlier than that. What midfielder to get for 12 million? My goodness, you have a lot of money, regulator. Anyone, De Bruyne, except De Bruyne. I should have read that fast before answering you. I think Sadio Mane will do well this match day as well. Or if you want another Man City midfielder, I've gone for Mahrez myself. Why don't you make a UCL predictions league? I thought about that, and then it was already 2 weeks in. So how many of you actually make the predictions on the app? If you already make it, then I can create it because, it's not just for this season. It can carry on to next season and everything. So I thought about it, Lucy, but then I was like 1 week later, I was like, I should have announced it early on, but I do play the predictions, so I could still do it. My team is a mess, as in you're not alone, man. You're not alone. Angiza or Zielinski? Depends. If you're on a wild card, I'd go for Anguissa. If you're on a limitless chip, I'd go for Zielinski. If you're just making transfers, I'd still probably go for Zielinski still. I know Anguissa is still getting assists and a couple of goals, but I expect Napoli to score another 3 or 4 goals, and those forward players really, really tempting. So I'd go for Zielinski. And you never know when he's going to be given another penalty. I know he missed a couple, and then it went to Politano. So you never know. Politano might not be on the pitch, and it could go back to Zielinski. Osic or Julian Alvarez? I'd go for Alvarez because Man City is Man City, man. Man City are scoring 4 or 5 goals every single game. Mbappe or Alvarez? If it's from those two, I'd go. Oh, this is so hard, Pat. Pat is throwing in the difficult questions. Annihilation. You're trying to annihilate me. Annihilation and Pat. That is what your name is. Mbappe or Alvarez? This is such a tough one because Alvarez is starting. I think Benfica is not going to be that easy for PSG. I think PSG will win that game still. But Alvarez is starting. I'm going to go for Alvarez. Yeah, because I think Man City will get more goals. That is just my idea of that. Should I keep Haaland or Lewandowski? Should I keep? Haaland is not playing, so definitely take out Haaland if you have the transfer to do it. Raspadori for Haaland for -4 hit and have 5 million in the bank. You can do it as long as Raspadori starts. Now, Osimhen is back, so there's no guarantee Raspadori plays more than 50 minutes, 60 minutes. He could be subbed off very early for Osimhen to come back. But for -4, you just want 1 goal from Raspadori, I would go for it. Sadio Mane for sure, instead of Andre Silva. Mahrez or Mbappe captain? Mahrez. Vinicius or Mane? Mbappe or Neymar? It's looking like I'm really going against Mbappe. My limitless team is Mbappe, Alvarez, Benzema, Mane, Sane, KDB, Kvaratskhelia, Jude Bellingham, Guerrero, Perisic, Reece, Cancelo, Con, Lloris, and Di Lorenzo. Should I make any changes? Let's see. Mane, Sane, KDB, Cancelo, Reece. This Cancelo. I know. I have a feeling he will be subbed off early, but I have a feeling if I don't go for him as well, he could punish me. That is the one player who's always in my team in FPL and Champions League fantasy. I like the team. I don't mind that team. Hoy Boy, I don't mind that at all. Kvaratskhelia is good, even if it's just 5.5 million. Bellingham, I don't mind. Perisic. Now, I wouldn't go for 2 Tottenham players, though. Especially 2 defenders. I wouldn't go that direction. I'd probably take out. I know Perisic didn't play the other day, but you already have Lloris, so you can't really take out Lloris. If Neuer was fit, I'd tell you Lloris out, Neuer in, but Neuer is not there, so the only option is Perisic out for a Bayern Munich defender. I think Frankfurt will score. Frankfurt have done well away from home. Marcus says thoughts on wildcard team. Con, Lloris, Guerrero, Gomez, James, Cancelo, Upamecano, Bellingham, Son, Nkunku, Kudus, Kvaratskhelia, Jagla, Mbappe. You really like Nkunku, eh? Mbappe, Jagla, Kvaratskhelia. That is not bad. Those are 2 strikers, though. Where is the 3rd striker there? Kudus. No, I don't have a problem with that midfield because it's because Sane will still play next time. Upamecano, James, Cancelo, Gomez. I don't mind this team at all. At least you have only 1 Tottenham defender. That's good. So I don't mind this team. If I was going to change anything, I would be tempted to go for another Man City player. You don't have any Man City attacker. Bad idea, Marcus. Absolutely bad idea. Man City are scoring 4 goals minimum every single game. To go without the attacker is suicide. I'd be very tempted to take out either Nkunku for Mahrez or De Bruyne if we can get to him. Or I'd be very tempted to take out Jagla for Alvarez because there's no way you can go into this. Copenhagen against Man City. I'm going to be live with that. I'm going to tell you, we are going to be celebrating goals in the first 10 minutes. Speaking of 10 minutes, you've really another alley hoop, this time from Marcus. Are any of you guys basketball players? You guys are throwing some really good alley hoops. Speaking of 10 minutes, 10 minutes are over. That means I have to pick another player. Let's go to the goalkeeper. My team cannot not have a goalkeeper. There's no way you can go into the pitch without a goalkeeper. Now, I have thought about goalkeepers. I've really thought about goalkeepers. And the one that I've decided on is very crazy. I have no idea why I've decided on this goalkeeper, but he's playing on the first day. I have gone for Vlaco Dimos. Why the hell have I gone for Vlaco Dimos? Because last time he made 6 saves against PSG. I think PSG will really attack today. And he has a very good chance of getting a lot of save points today. And at 5 million, I'm going to go for him because I've thought about the other defenders. I've thought about Ederson as a goalkeeper. I've thought about Donnarumma. I have thought about the Dortmund goalkeepers as well. Today, there's not too many good options in terms of goalkeepers. Just look at this. Dortmund, we don't know which goalkeeper is going to start. Sevilla, expecting them to concede. Celtic, Leipzig, their goalkeepers are cheap on a limitless cheap. Not really. I think that game is going to be 2-2 anyway. Courtois is out. We don't know when Mendy is going to be back for Chelsea. AC Milan, I'm not sure about their goalkeeper against Chelsea. I think both teams will score. Paris against Benfica, Donnarumma. Not sure about him because I really need my goalkeeper to make a lot of saves. Will Benfica take 6-7 shots on target in that game? Juventus, Szczesny, yes, but he might be dropped anytime for the other goalkeeper. So for today, there's not too many goalkeepers, and that is why I've gone for Vlaco Dimos from Benfica. That is my first goalkeeper on my limitless chip. Next is going to be in the next 10 minutes, my next pick. Lewandowski or Alvarez on a limitless? That is a very good question as well as you all, because on a limitless, you just want to go for all the expensive players because you're not on any budget. But Man City, Alvarez. If it's from those two, Alvarez, because Man City will score a bunch of goals. And then he has a chance of playing 90 minutes. If they score 3 goals, he will stay on until like the 80th minute and have a chance of scoring again. I think I've answered that one. Ezin says, do you think Haaland will come on in the second half? It really depends. If the game is 1-0, there is a chance he could come on. If it's already 3-0, 2-0, he won't come on. They have Liverpool this weekend. Power says, reduce the time our team wouldn't finish before deadline. That is a plan, Power. I've thought about it. I'm going to reveal like 10 players. The other 5 players will not be revealed. That is the plan. That is why I timed it. Live for 90 minutes, reveal 9-10 players, and keep the other 5 players as a secret so that we can be different, so that you can enjoy more. I've thought about that, Power. Mane or Mahrez, says Ezin. Probably Mahrez, because again, both of them have good fixtures. Mahrez is on penalties though, so him, Mahrez. Haaland will play? No, but he has a chance of coming on depending on the results. Psycho. That is an interesting name. That's a very interesting name. I won't go too deep into that. Salah to Mahrez for -4. Salah for -4, I wouldn't do it as well. Nah, I know Liverpool are not on good form, and Salah has not been playing well, but it ranges. He could still play for 60 minutes and get a penalty and score. So for -4, I wouldn't do it. Who is a good replacement for Lloris? I've thought about the Napoli goalkeeper, not bad. I don't think the Napoli goalkeeper is bad. It gets save points. So that's Wednesday. So Napoli goalkeeper and maybe Alisson as well, if you prefer, against Rangers. Again, Liverpool do well in the Champions League. They do badly in the Premier League, but in the Champions League recently, they've been doing okay. Alvarez or Haaland? Haaland is not playing, so definitely Alvarez. That is very easy. Let's see. I've read those ones. Nesh says, if you're just joining, hit the like button. Really appreciate it if you do that. It helps the channel out. Valverde or Gnabry for Bellingham? Wait, Valverde or who are you? You're thinking of one of them to remove for Bellingham. I'd probably take out Valverde for Bellingham. Bayern might rest Son in the second half. I'm sure Gnabry will come in. Yeah, that is my thinking as well. But I heard there is a doubt as well, so it's crazy. But I'll take out Valverde though. Valverde might start with Vinicius on the bench. Bellingham in explosive form. What would you do? I would bring on Bellingham for Valverde. That is what I would do. Nesh. Nesh is there with the predictions. Vinicius could start with this one. This one could start with this one. Don't play around with Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola. This guy, he'll start Rodrigo and Hazard, and you'll be like, what the hell? Rodrigo and Hazard up front? What's the perfect time to play Limitless? It's match day 2 or 6. Usually match day 6 or match day 2, but now I've played my Limitless in match day 4 because disasters have happened, injuries, suspensions, and all that. So I've had to play it. But usually match day 6. If you still have it and your team is looking good, match day 6. Mane, Bellingham, or Mahrez, says Ezin. I'll still go for Mahrez because he's on penalties and he has the easier fixture between the two. After that, I'd go for Mahrez. After that, I'd go for Mane and then Bellingham. But not saying Bellingham is a bad option, but since Sevilla have changed their coach and all that, there's a chance that Sevilla could improve. Ripadu says, bruh, I still don't know who I'm going to put on my midfield spot. I don't feel like Gundogan or Grealish will get any points. And Zielinski only got 26 overall points because of the Liverpool game. I still don't know who I'm going to put on. Zielinski has done well, though, in their league as well. Like, he's scoring goals. You're not sure about Gundogan and Grealish. This is a Limitless, right? I've forgotten, Ripper, to remind me. This is a Limitless, right? If it's a Limitless, let me just answer all of them anyway. If it's a Limitless, I'd just go for any of Grealish or Gundogan. Believe me, they will probably return. Now, since you've said that, I've just remembered something. Gundogan is on the pitch. Gundogan does take penalties as well sometimes. So don't be surprised if Gundogan takes a penalty ahead of Mahrez. That is the other problem as well. So that's the other thing I've just thought about. This is just crazy. Like, why do we play this game? It's so stressful. Like, because Gundogan does take penalties as well, so Mahrez might not even take it if they get a penalty. I'd go for Gundogan, Ripadu. I'd go for Gundogan. He has a chance of playing like 70 minutes. He gets forward so many times. I will be revealing my next play in the next 2 minutes. Alvarez or Haaland, Alvarez, Vlahovic, Lewandowski, or Jagler on a Limitless chip. Vlahovic, Lewandowski, or Jagler. I'd go for Vlahovic. Tuka -4 to do Davis to Upamecano, Diaz to Mahrez, Musiala to Kvaratskhelia. That is not bad at all. Like, that's all those players are not playing, so I don't mind that. I still have Kostic, Haaland, and Valverde in my team. So do you think it would be worth taking a -8? I really don't think so, man. -8 is a bit too much. Because remember, I didn't say Valverde will 100% not start. There's a chance he could start and get subbed off. So there is that as well. Haaland doesn't start. Kostic doesn't start. So I think there's a chance both of them come on as well. I would not really take a -8 Penguin. I really hate -8s and those -12s, especially in the Champions League fantasy. I don't think it's worth it because, especially if you're now transfers for later on, if you don't have a Limitless chip, those players you bring on with the -8, they might not even play next time round. Then it just becomes a waste. And you have to take a -8 again next time to bring back these players that are fit, because Davis might be back next time. Musiala will be back next time. So I wouldn't do it. Do you think I should lose -4 to transfer Haaland out, says Hamad? Yeah, if you're taking a -4 only, you can take them out. Weird guy with the phone. Interesting. Don't worry, that probably should be my name as well. Weird guy with a YouTube account. Do you know if Meyer will be goalkeeper for Dortmund? Nope. But apparently he's been playing poorly. He's been making a couple of mistakes, like in the Bayern game the other day. So he could be dropped very, very soon. It could be in this game. Islam says Benzema, Lewandowski, Vlahovic, Mbappe, which 3 on a Limitless? Vlahovic has a good fixture against Maccabi Haifa, so him probably. Benzema, we are sure is going to start. Lewandowski and Mbappe, I'd probably still go for Mbappe, Vlahovic, and Benzema from that list. Boris says, should I bring in Mahrez or Alvarez? I would have to take out Gomez, wildcard active. Do you have another City defender? I think Gomez is almost like an attacking threat as well, just like Cancelo. So Mahrez or Alvarez on a wildcard. I'd probably bring in Alvarez on a wildcard because it's cheaper. Alawi says Vlahovic, Lewandowski, Alvarez up front on a wildcard. So you've gone for Lewandowski instead of Mbappe. Listen, I mean, all of us watch football. It really depends on what you think, because Lewandowski and Mbappe will both start and play 90 minutes. So it depends on what you feel. Do you feel Benfica is tough to PSG, or do you feel Inter Milan are tougher to Barcelona? I think Inter Milan are tougher to Barcelona, and Barcelona have only scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. So there's that as well. So I'd still go for Mbappe. Igor says, how are you? On Mole, I don't trust any fast this match day. I would be lying if I said I have not thought about him, because I think he'll definitely start for them. He's not a bad option at all against Victoria Pilsen, not at all. So I don't mind him at all. Time to reveal my next pick on a Limitless on a Limitless right now. So we might as well finish the Man City team, right? Let's just let me save you guys the wait. Let me just finish my Man City team so that you know which Man City players I have gone for. Man City, Man City, Man City. I have taken the risk. I have taken the risk, guys. I have decided. I have decided on a Man City defender. I have thought about all of them. I've thought about Gomez. I've thought about Akanji. I've thought about Cancelo. Am I too crazy for removing Cancelo? Should I have him in? Laporte. Laporte can also get attacking returns just like Cancelo. On Man City's bench, they have Diaz. They have Ake, who could both come on. And they also have Lewis or something who can play. Like one of them could play on the right side for Cancelo. I have decided, guys. I've decided to. I'm not going to change it. I am going to go for him. I am going to go for Joao Cancelo in my defense. That is what I've gone for. It's too hard, you know. It's like that girl or that guy that you really like and you don't really want to leave them. That is Cancelo, because you know you'll go out there. Yes, there are so many fish in the sea, but there's no fish like Cancelo. Benzema playing, definitely, Antonio. Ancelotti already confirmed that. Does Haaland come out for Neymar or just ride it out? If you're just going to make transfers, I would do it. If you're playing a Limitless, I would do it, definitely. If you're playing a wildcard, I would do it, definitely. If you already made 3 transfers, -4 and stuff like that, I wouldn't do it. I'll just ride it out and hope Haaland does come on for at least 20 minutes. Do you think I should... I already answered that. Yeah, you can do that. 3 best forwards according to you for this match day: Benzema, Lewandowski, Mbappe, Neymar. Leao. Wow, you've thrown in Leao there. Kane, Muller, Nunes. I've not thought about Nunes because, again, with Liverpool, Nunes, Jota, Firmino. Firmino didn't start the other day. Firmino could start this time round. Nunes could be back on the bench again to play against Man City this weekend. Too risky. Harry Kane is on penalties. If you prefer a Tottenham player, you can go for him. Muller is going to start because of the injuries, especially in his back himself. I'm just going to give you 2 summits. I'm going to tell you Benzema and probably, you know what, I'm going to go for Muller. I'm going to go for Muller and Benzema. But for the third option, as I said, Mbappe, Lewandowski, literally up to you. Even Neymar, I even think Neymar could outscore Mbappe. Literally, the third option is up to you. It's so hard. All 3 of those guys could score. That is the thing with them. All of them are good players, and I think all of them play 90 minutes, so there's no risk with that. So I'll just give you 2 summit, Benzema and probably Muller. But I would not be surprised if Kane scored, if Leao assisted against Chelsea as well. Fill my midfield. This is like those questions back in junior school, primary school. Fill in the blanks. 1, 2, 3. What are the next 2 numbers? Fill my midfield. Sane, Kudus, Mane. Napoli midfielder. And you already have 2 Bayern Munich. Napoli midfielder and a midfielder for Man City. Depends on what you have. If you're playing a Limitless chip, I would probably say Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne. If you're playing a wildcard, I'd probably say Kvaratskhelia and maybe Gundogan, but make sure it's a Napoli midfielder and a Man City midfielder. Vlahovic for Haaland SG, yes. Sharma says Muller, Jagla, Vlahovic. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I think Vlahovic should do well. Muller as well has a chance. Nope, I'm going for -4 Musiala out. Go for it. Should I risk -4? But keep in mind, by the Ripadu, Musiala is back next match day. Rowan says, should I risk 8 points getting De Bruyne in? Should I don't have any City? Oh, you don't have any City attackers. We need to sort that out, Rowan. Should I risk 8 points getting De Bruyne in? Who are you taking out, though? If you don't have any City attackers, I would definitely take a -4 to get in a City attacker. Definitely 100%. -8 is, my good, -8 is a lot, you know. -8 is a lot. You know, if they get a 2-goal lead, De Bruyne is going off at halftime because they have Liverpool this weekend. De Bruyne is the most important player in that Man City team. I think he's more important than Haaland because even if Haaland doesn't play, I still think De Bruyne gets an assist and they still win the game. But if De Bruyne isn't there, Nesh says, I'll take a -4 round, but -8 is a bit pushy. But if you don't have a City attacker, I would understand. Haaland might come in the second half and score 2 goals. Watch out. Bro says Nesh. There's that chance as well. I'd be very gutted if that happens. Best goalkeeper that plays today, not City or PSG. As you can see, I have gone for the Benfica goalkeeper. You could also go for Leipzig if you prefer. You could also, Salzburg today, right? You could also go for Salzburg goalkeeper if you prefer. Myron says Ulrich. You've gone for Ulrich. I'm not sure I would do that, Myron, because it's just one match day. Gomez, Cancelo, Ronaldo, Mane, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, Sane. But I'm imagining you didn't have a goalkeeper. Mbappe, Neymar, Alvarez for -4. Would you change anyone for -4? So you already have Man City, no problem with that. Sane, Mbappe. That Neymar, Mbappe forward line, 2 of them. Now I still think they'll win the game. Sane, Mbappe, Vinicius, Mane. I'd be very tempted to take out Vinicius, man. I'd be very tempted, very, very tempted to take him out. But in terms of giving this team a rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I have a problem with the goalkeeper, especially if if you already played your wildcard in your Limitless. Next week again, you'll be looking to get in another goalkeeper because Neuer will be back and all that. So for -4, you can go for it. I'm still worried though. I'm still worried. I like the Man City double up in defense because you'll definitely get a clean sheet there at least. What's Lunin? What play Lunin or Courtois? Lunin will definitely play. Courtois is injured if that is what you're asking. Do you think I answer that one? John says I have Haaland, Musiala, Davis with 1 free transfer. I'm willing to take a -4 hit. What do you think I should do? I have Haaland, Musiala, and Davis with 1 free transfer. I'm willing to take a -4. Again, John, it really depends on who else you have because I really need to know if do you already have Sane? Do you already have Mane? I'd probably take out Musiala for Man City midfielder. So Mahrez, De Bruyne, Gondwan, if you can afford any of those guys. Haaland, I'll definitely take out. There's so many strikers this week that can do well. Benzema, Kane, all these guys can do well. So I would take the -4 for Haaland. I'd bring him back next time. Vlahovic is another one who's good. Yes, SG. Man City, Copenhagen score prediction. 4-0 to Man City. I'm coming live for that one right after this. I need to transfer Diaz because of injury. I can afford De Bruyne and Mahrez. Which of these two would you get, or would you go for someone else? No, it would be between those two. If it's between those two, I'd go for Mahrez because I think that if they get 2 goals, De Bruyne is out right away. And Mahrez could take penalties, so I'd still go for Mahrez. Around 90k or something, Penguin. But after this week, after playing my Limitless, hoping it's going to be way about that. Bellingham or De Bruyne? De Bruyne. Copenhagen. Copenhagen. It's Copenhagen against Man City. Do you know how many goals Man City scored against Manchester United? 6. Do you know how many goals they scored against Sevilla? I think it was like 5. Do you know how many goals they scored against Nottingham Forest? 6. They scored like 3 against Newcastle, another 4 against someone there. They're not scoring less than 3 goals in a game, Man City. They are very, very good in terms of attacking. They're not getting anything less than 3 goals there as well. Salah, yes or no, says Ahmed. Again, it depends. If you already have him in your team and you have other things to change, keep Salah. If it's on a Limitless team, I wouldn't go for him. If it's on a wildcard team, I wouldn't go for him as well. Who to captain, says Antonio. Any Man City players, Dembele and Rafael Leao to replace Messi and Musiala. Dembele, Mustafa, my goodness. Dembele. To replace Messi, I would not go for Dembele. There's so many other good midfielders. Will Dembele get at least 10 points against Inter Milan? I really don't think so. But if you're asking for those two, yes. Gabriel says top captain picks for today. De Bruyne, Mahrez. Which other fixtures do we have? Vlahovic. Probably those 3. Even Benzema against Shakhtar because he's on penalties. He does miss them a few times, though. Is it time to pick my next pick? I think it is. I think it is time to go for my next pick. Can we go for my next pick? Yes, we can. Let us go to the midfield. He's too good. He's the future England captain. He's going to be captaining Dortmund for so many years. He might go to Liverpool if he prefers. His name is Jude Bellingham. He is in my team for my Limitless. Jude Bellingham against Sevilla. Another 3 goals for them. Bellingham is my next midfielder. Next pick in the next 10 minutes. I like this. I should be doing this more often. They should give us like 4 Limitless chips. Do you think Gundogan might be a better option than KDB on a Limitless? I'm scared of De Bruyne coming off early. Like on a Limitless, no, just go for De Bruyne. You could go for both of them, though, if you're feeling brave, Gigor, because you have the advantage of playing the Limitless. You can go for both of them. I do think I would still go for De Bruyne. There's still a chance if they get 2 goals, you'll probably get one of them. I'd be very disgusted. Like, I'm coming for that watch along. I'd be very devastated if De Bruyne and Mahrez went off without any return. I'd be very devastated. This is the game to get a lot of returns. This is the match I'm expecting a lot of returns. Man City against Copenhagen. If I come for that watch along and they don't deliver, I'd be very devastated. Because I know a lot of people had Haaland and those kind of players. It would be very great to see De Bruyne getting 10 points and Mahrez 10 points. Vlahovic and Mahrez in for Alvarez and Sane. Sane and Mane. Wait, Vlahovic and Mahrez. I wouldn't take out. Is this a Limitless? Let me know at the end if you're playing your just transfers wildcard Limitless. It makes it easier to answer the question. I'd not be taking out Alvarez or Mane though. No, I'd keep the second guys. I'd keep them because Alvarez is starting. Mane, Sane will both start as well. I'd keep them. Sharma says Diaz is benched, so I'm taking a -4. Should I go for Guerrero or Upamecano? Wow, what a question as well. I'd go for Guerrero, attacking, defending as well. Can you show the predicted lineup for who? For who? Can you save transfers if you only use one? Yes, you can save one for later on. You can do that, but only one. Salah or Mane? Mane. Gabriel says top striker picks this week. I've talked about them. Benzema, all these guys. Even Mola is a good differential option. Vlahovic. Di Maria Vlahovic. Good question, Remy. Remy, good question. I'll still go for Vlahovic up front. Myron says, I really don't mind any of them, Rami. I think both of them will do well. Again, Rami, depends on how the rest of your team looks. I'd really need to know your midfield, how it looks. Which players do you already have? Which forward players do you have? I have both chips. So I'll play Ulrich only for this week. You have both chips. Who are you, Myron? Are you the UEFA Champions League fantasy administrator? How do you still have both chips? This week and play the chips in the other 2 match days. You're a lucky guy, Myron. Lucky. You even have the option of not even playing it this week. If is your team, I have both chips. I'll play Ulrich only for this week. You are lucky. And you're not taking any hits. Your team is good. If your team is good and you don't need to use the chips, you don't really have to use them. Did you send your team, Myron? I'd be very happy if you send your team again to look at it. Oh, yes, he did. Ulrich, Gomez, Cancelo, Ronaldo, Mane, Vinicius, I really don't mind that team. I wouldn't really play the chip as well. Just go for it. It can help you a lot in match day 5 and 6. So just save them. Zielinski or Salah, Limitless chip. Zielinski, I really don't like Liverpool's form. I had Salah on my FPL team the other day. He's really disappointed me a lot. Rafael Leao, Vlahovic, Mustafa, Sane, captain of De Bruyne, Mahrez, Man City players, Antonio, Man City players. I forgot Musiala will only be out for a week. I'm so lost. Yep, he'll be back next time. But I have my decision. That is why I prefer taking out someone like a Diaz who's out for long. Davis out, Guerrero in. I'm going bold. Guerrero captain. Wow. Ripadu is not messing around. Go for it. Should I go for Raspadori, Jagla, Neymar? Have you got any other options? That is not bad. I love the Napoli attackers. Jagla, Neymar. I don't mind that attacking. They could all easily score. But if it's on a Limitless chip, I would go for a different option. I would definitely not go for Jagla if I was playing Limitless. If it's a wildcard, you can probably go with them, no problem. Captain Mbappe, Benzema, Vlahovic says relaxing central. These questions are tough. I think all 3 of them will score. But Mbappe against Benfica is tough. I think Vlahovic has the easier fixture from that. So probably Vlahovic. Who is your captain? I cannot reveal that, Antonio. Why won't Neuer play? He's injured. I'm telling you, it's chaos this time. Everyone is injured. Should I keep Haaland on a wildcard? Definitely not, Marcus. You can bring him next time. Let me go through this very quickly because the deadline is close. I have made 2 defensive transfers, Romero and Di Lorenzo for Kostic and Davis. Would it be worth taking a hit? Bellingham for Valverde -4. I have to make 2 transfers for -4. Bellingham for Valverde. I wouldn't take a -4 for that because Valverde could probably start as well and still score. So I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take a -4 for 8. High broad defender would you go for under 4.6? I guess that is what you mean. 4.6, Gomez, Man City. Mustafa, best midfielders for 9.1 million. That is tough. I'd probably look at Man City, a Man City midfielder at any of that price. Man City midfielder. I think Zielinski and Politano are good from Napoli as well at exactly 9.1 million. Do we really have exactly 9.1 million? I don't think so. I don't think we have players at exactly 9.1 million. Let me just check. 9.5. I know there's still more questions. 12 minutes to go. I know that. Don't worry. I will rush through the others. Midfielders, 9.1. It probably will be a Man City midfielder or a Bayern midfielder, really. I don't think there's anyone really at 9.1 million. Now, the other thing is you don't really have to use the entire 9.1 million, especially if you're playing a wildcard. If you have a player who you want at 6 million, you can go for the 6 million player and save the 3.1 million. Believe me, it's going to help you later on, especially if you remove Haaland right now. It's going to be very easy to go back to someone like a Haaland next time. So Man City midfielders, Mustafa, any Man City midfielder who's playing, that's the only way I can answer that. Afan says Benzema, Mbappe, captain, literally anyone. You can go for anyone today because both of them will do well. And if they don't work second day, great. I would go for Benzema though. Brendan, best differentials this week. Differential. I mean, this Man City midfielders who are starting like Gundogan and Grealish, not many people will have them. So I'd probably say that. How many people have Benzema? I think it's a differential. 14%, definitely not a differential. I didn't know. There's a time you had like 10%. So Man City midfielders. Di Maria, he's only owned by 2%. I think it's perfect for this week. I think Di Maria is perfect for this week. And he's so perfect, Di Maria, to the point that Di Maria is in my team, on my Limitless team. That is my midfield complete. Di Maria is in my team. That is my midfield. Sane, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Bellingham, and Di Maria. That is my midfield complete. That is the midfield I am going for. Do you think that is strong enough? Let me know. Let's see. Bellingham or KDB or Mahrez, says Bellingham, KDB. Probably I'd go for Mahrez because he's on penalties and he'll probably play more minutes than KDB. But literally any of them. I have both of them, so it's really tough to answer that. Sane, captain, worth it, or Cancelo? Sane is not playing today, easy. Sane is not playing today, so you have to captain someone who's playing today. So it has to be Cancelo job. Vlahovic for Mbappe, I'm on a Limitless. Yes, if it's on a Limitless, you can go for Vlahovic. Mahrez or Bellingham for group stage. Bellingham, if it's until match day 6, Bellingham. Mbappe, worth it. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I think he'll score, especially now that Messi is not there. He's the one who's going to probably score for them. Can I captain someone that plays earlier today and then change for someone that plays later today? Nope, you cannot do that. That is cheating, Ripado. That would be cheating. Captain Cancelo, if he doesn't do what I expect him to change for someone that plays. You have to captain one for today and one for tomorrow. I've tripled up on Juventus with Cuadrado, Di Maria, and Vlahovic. This could be all or nothing for me. You're very brave. Juventus have not been great at all this season. Bayern predicted lineup: Mane, Sane, Mola, Goretzka, Upamecano, Mazraoui, all those guys. I think they'll start. Sane or Mane, says I'd probably go for Mane. I transferred Valverde for Anguissa, not bad at all. Any news about Neuer? Any news about Neuer? Yes, he's out. People should, that's the news on him. People should go for Rafael Leao over Vlahovic because he has easier games in match day 5 or 6. That is if you're playing your wildcard. Please subscribe. Thank you, RK. Can't believe City benched Haaland. I mean, they have Liverpool this weekend. That is an easy game for them. So Do you know if Andre Silva is playing? Not sure, but I would imagine he starts. 5.6 million defender. It used to be Kostic, but since he's not playing, how much is Reece James? Let me just check for you, Reece James. Chelsea. Probably Upamecano. James is 6 million. I'd probably say Upamecano. I don't know how exactly much he is, but I'd go for Upamecano. Mahrez or Mane? Mahrez. Neymar, Benzema. These questions are tough, you know. Sergio Gomez or James? I would go for the double up team. Gomez, because especially if Cancelo gets subbed off, at least you still have Gomez. I am captaining Di Maria, says Igor. Okafor or Kudus, says Annihilation. Okafor, Kudus, or Kudus for 100%. I think it's going to be a 3-2-4-3 game again. And I'm going to reveal my last player right now. You don't have a Napoli midfielder. Yes, Rami, you don't have a Napoli midfielder, but I am not that crazy. I definitely have a Napoli attacker. In my team, you can Raspadori. Raspadori is in my team. Welcome to my team, Raspadori. Defender, Boris says defender for 6 million already have 3 Man City players and Upamecano. Defender for 6 million already have 3 Man City players and Upamecano. Defender for 6 million. James is not bad because he's playing today. So even if he doesn't return, you can sub him out tomorrow. Loaning for Neuer. Definitely not loaning for Neuer. Anyone else for Neuer. Loaning will not play next time. Courtois will be back. Best goalkeeper, Ederson, Javob. Salah, Mahrez, Islam. That is if you know I've answered that question like that. Ederson is the best goalkeeper because he'll play 90 minutes and he has the easiest fixture. But there's still other options like the Salzburg goalkeeper, Lloris tomorrow, and players like that. Salah, Mahrez. De Lorenzo only 5 million. It's very good as well. Neymar and Mbappe, good striking force to go with on a wild card. I can go for both of them. There's so many options, spots. So I have enough KDB or Mahrez. I'd go for Mahrez because KDB could be subbed off. Thoughts on Kunku? Good option, but I really think there's many options from obviously Man City, Napoli, and those guys. Vlahovic for Mbappe, I'm on a Limitless. Yes, go for it. For Limitless, thoughts on Kunku? You can go for him, but that is if you already have like a Man City players already, Bayern Munich players, and those kind of teams. So I'm going to reveal another. I'm going to go for a goalkeeper. I'm going to go for Alisson from Liverpool tomorrow. Let's go for Alisson. He's already in my team. So that is all I can give you for today. The next 4 picks, you'll realize you'll get them in the next watch along. I'm coming for a watch along in the next 5 minutes. So that is all I can give you for now. I'm going to go for another 4 players, and I might still put in money into this team. That is all I can tell you. Got to go to change for the other live stream. So thank you guys for being here. Make sure to hit the like button. Join me for the Man City watch along. Catch up with you very, very soon.